Dricus Du Plessis has a $10,000 proposal for Chimaev. I'll give you $10,000 every time you can take me down. So what does a fight look like between Chimaev and Dricus if there's no takedown? Are you completely certain that for Chimaev to win this fight, he must take him down? But what if we put it in reverse? Chimaev can't take him down. That's what Dricus is saying is going to happen. Are we sure that Chimaev can't strike with him? Are you sure that in the absence of a takedown, Chimaev cannot beat Dricus Du Plessis?
Who you got, Chimaev versus DDP? I've got DDP over Chimaev. I've got Dricus Du Plessis winning. I think Dricus survives round 1 and finishes Chimaev in the later rounds. Dricus has a really good fundamental base in jiu-jitsu and submission grappling, and it's something that not a lot of people know about. Dricus is bigger, stronger, I think more gritty and heart. He has more heart than Whittaker by far. He's tougher, he's more durable. He doesn't have the teeth problems that Whittaker had. So I think he's going to break Chimaev in the later rounds.
Joe Rogan has sparked a lot of debate with his prediction about the upcoming showdown between undefeated Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis for the UFC middleweight title.
Dana White confirms Khamzat Chimaev is next.
Dricus Khamzat is a pretty big fight that you guys can put on right now.
Yeah,
I would give DDP the advantage over Khamzat right now.
styles make fights, and you never seen Dricus fight. Good wrestler, and Khamzat's one of the best.
Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your legs. And you got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut for Khamzat. It's like 85 is really where he should have been all along.
But again, he gassed out against Usman. Usman went up to 85.
Usman's a world champion. You know, in the third round, Usman did what a world champion does. He rallied.
Rogan, no stranger to bold opinions, admitted on his podcast that he's uncertain how the fight will unfold. Given both fighters' explosive styles, it's no surprise that the matchup has captured the attention of fans and analysts alike. Rogan acknowledged the uncertainty surrounding Chimaev, emphasizing that we simply don't know what to expect from him. Rogan noted that Chimaev's ability to shoot from long distances and close the gap quickly with his takedowns makes him a nightmare for anyone. He added that Chimaev's endurance could be better at middleweight than at welterweight, suggesting that the move to 185 pounds might benefit his overall performance.
Like, this was just a overwhelming victory. Khamzat just charged in, dove in, got him down, and mauled him until he broke his face.
Do you think it's different with Du Plessis? Because he can wrestle.
He can wrestle. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. He hits hard, and he's a big, durable dude. But I don't know if he's going to be able to wrestle with that guy. Like, I don't know, man. The Khamzat's skill is so high level, it makes me wonder. Khamzat's a freak, man. Especially at 170.
Dude, but he can't make the weight. He's too unreliable.
He just needs to be a little bit more disciplined. Bro, 170, he's almost unstoppable. Even when Gilbert caught him on the noggin multiple times and dropped him, remember?
Yep.
Still kept going. Like, that guy never stopped coming.
But it's not just Rogan who is weighing in on this matchup. Several other voices in the MMA community have weighed in with their opinions on how the fight will play out. Darren Till, who has trained alongside Chimaev, believes this is a nightmare matchup for Du Plessis. Till thinks Chimaev's early explosiveness, pace, and raw power will be too much for the South African in the first 2 rounds. According to Till, if Chimaev can push the pace early, he'll likely secure a finish before Du Plessis can find his rhythm.
If I went back to the UFC now as the middleweight I could be, I'd fucking tear that Dricus' head off. Tell Dricus I said fuck him, by the way. The little fucking gobshite. Because I can't stand his guts because he's so shit, he's so good.
You think he beats Khamzat, your boy?
No, look, I'm with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, and he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds, I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows, I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but, you know, Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds done. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, you're looking svelte. You're looking great. How much are you weighing right now?
Everyone's been saying that, you know, that I'm looking fabulous.
Yeah, you are.
Ariel, let's just go. Do I look fabulous?
I think you look fabulous. The teeth are just like blinding me. I wish I was wearing sunglasses right now, but you're looking fit. Way fitter than the last time, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to show me another thing there. It was getting very low, the camera. It was weird. I was
Whoa.
It was uncomfortable.
Whoa. Only my missus gets to see that. Don't be disrespectful.
On the other side, former fighter and current analyst Michael Venom Page sees Chimaev's explosive athleticism as a major threat to Du Plessis. Page highlights how Chimaev is able to smoothly transition between striking and grappling, making him an unpredictable and dangerous opponent. If Chimaev can maintain his relentless pace and land his strikes effectively in the first couple of rounds, Page believes it could be lights out for Du Plessis. However, Page also acknowledges that Du Plessis has a reputation for thriving in tough situations, and his durability and championship mindset might allow him to shift the momentum as the fight wears on.
I don't see anybody beating him.
I like Khamzat too. I think he's been really incredible.
Yeah, definitely. He looked better in the last fight. Obviously, it didn't last long, so we didn't get to see it, but normally he's like Crash Bandicoot the first round, and then his energy dips.
DDP has been interesting, though.
I feel like Dricus is very underrated for a belt holder here.
But that's the thing. If anybody was to, it would be Dricus, because that is the muscular endurance. If you look at like some of the fights nowadays, Mirab, Dricus, these guys that have the muscular endurance to be fighting at 7 the whole fight. And then you got someone like Mirab that's 7, 8 from start to finish, mate. That's difficult to deal with. And
Brendan Schaub, another UFC analyst, shared his thoughts, predicting a Du Plessis victory. Schaub believes that Chimaev's best chance of winning lies in the first few rounds. If he doesn't secure an early finish, Schaub feels Du Plessis will start to take control as the fight progresses. Schaub also pointed to the size difference between the two fighters, suggesting that this could become a critical factor in the later rounds, when Chimaev might struggle to maintain his explosiveness.
For that, Khamzat DDP, who you got?
I got a feeling DDP wins that. I have Khamzat.
I don't.
Yeah.
If Khamzat can get done the first round and a half, maybe, I just think that thing goes past the third and DDP takes over. I think he TKOs him.
I think Khamzat is a better striker, and I think Khamzat's a better wrestler, and I think DDP is a killer. But I think it's Khamzat's time.
Could be totally off on Khamzat. He's a minus 200. Dude, take my money.
Really? You got DDP?
Yes. Especially as a dog. I figured it'd be the favorite.
I have to say,
I figured DDP would be like a minus 150. Well, Khamzat, I look at the Gilbert Burns fight. You know, I look at the Kamaru Usman fight. You're like, okay.
Yeah, but he did out wrestle Kamaru.
Ariel Helwani, one of the most respected figures in MMA media, agrees with the general consensus that Chimaev is likely to dominate early, but he offers an interesting twist. Helwani thinks Du Plessis' chances increase the deeper the fight goes. Du Plessis has proven he can adapt and survive in long fights, and if Chimaev doesn't finish him early, Helwani believes Du Plessis will be able to exploit weaknesses and take advantage of any fatigue that may set in.
I think DDP figures it out. I think he takes him to deep water and he figures it out, and I think it's like a learning lesson for him and all this stuff.
I like it.
Yeah.
Adding more intrigue to the fight, Caio Borralho made some bold claims, suggesting that Chimaev could retire if he wins the middleweight title. According to Borralho, there have been whispers in the locker rooms that Chimaev, having already achieved significant wealth and fame, may decide to step away from the sport after securing the ultimate prize. While these rumors have been circulating, Borralho stressed that they are based on hearsay, so it's hard to say how true they are.
Are you going to be riding with the DDP for this one, or you think Khamzat is going to walk away the champion?
Actually, right now, it's hard to bet against DDP. I always bet against him, and he always shoot my mouth. But it's hard to bet against Khamzat. I think this fight can be really, really fast as the Whittaker fight. But I can see this fight going into the second, the third round, and then I see some advantage for Dricus.
Chael Sonnen, never one to shy away from a controversial opinion, took aim at the criticism surrounding Chimaev's past health issues, especially concerning his fight cancellations. Sonnen reminded fans and analysts that Chimaev's most notable cancellation occurred during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, when he was critically ill. Sonnen pushed back against those who suggested that Chimaev's past health struggles could somehow affect his future performance, arguing that it's unfair to hold those events against him.
I feel like this rises the stock of Ivanov, who, by the way, after getting an incredible win over Adesanya, does deserve something. He did look like kind of the odd man out as the other 85-pounders were getting matched up, so I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, Dricus went a step further. Dricus took the post that says Ivanov will be back a fighter, and Dricus took that as an announcement that in Chicago later this year he will be defending his title against Ivanov because he believes that Chimaev, who has a history of pulling out of fights, is going to stick true to form and pull out of the fight. And by the way, that's a little bit of a false rumor. That whole idea that Chimaev has had to pull out of a bunch of fights, that really is a little bit of a false rumor. And I could break that down and you could show me your evidence, but I mean, come on. When the pandemic hit, Chimaev never thought he was going to fight again. He thought he was going to be one of the statistics. He was on a ventilator. He didn't believe he was ever going to leave that room. So that was the first of the fights that he had to pull out of. And I just share for you in extreme cases such as that. I don't know that 5 years later we stick around and use that to try to like pierce the veil of this guy's immaculate credibility. So
Stephen Thompson, another fighter with high-level grappling experience, believes Chimaev will face a serious challenge in Du Plessis. Thompson described Du Plessis as awkward, strong, and tough to handle, and he's particularly interested in how Du Plessis will fare in a 5-round fight. Thompson mentioned Chimaev's previous cardio issues, acknowledging that while the Chechen-born fighter has improved his endurance, he still favors Du Plessis in what he expects to be a grueling contest.
Oh man, I think it's a tough one for Khamzat Chimaev. Du Plessis, his awkwardness makes him very difficult to deal with. He's got great grappling. He's a very strong opponent. If he can weather the storm in a five and a round fight, I'm leaning towards Du Plessis. We saw what Gilbert Burns did, but obviously Khamzat Chimaev, he's made some changes. He's evolving. He's getting better. He's strong. Oh man, I would love to see Du Plessis win it. I'm leaning towards Du Plessis because I think it's a very tough fight. Very tough fight. Khamzat's notorious for fatiguing later on in the rounds, and if it's a 5-round fight.
Jamahal Hill, a respected voice in MMA, also predicts a Du Plessis win, pointing to the South African's cardio, power, and unpredictable striking as key factors. Hill admitted that Chimaev is a dangerous opponent, but he believes Du Plessis' resilience and ability to surprise opponents will give him the upper hand in this contest. Hill also pointed to Chimaev's tendency to tire in the later rounds as a potential flaw that Du Plessis can capitalize on.
I probably favor DDP in that one, just for the simple fact of I've doubted this dude so many times now, and he's shut me up bad every time. It may look like he's like fatiguing or he's like slowing down, but he's really not. I think he's got the better cardio.
Bo Nickel, a rising star in the UFC, gave his take on Chimaev's style, focusing on his grappling. Nickel highlighted Chimaev's relentless top pressure and control as his primary weapons, and he believes this pressure will be a key part of his strategy against Du Plessis. Chimaev's ability to pressure his opponents and maintain control throughout a fight has been a defining feature of his career, and Nickel expects this to continue against Du Plessis.
I just think the grappling style, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking. But his background is wrestling. He did that before anything else, and so it's really wrestlers that are dominating. Grapplers that are dominating the sport right now, and so I think that I would give the edge to Khamzat.
Kamaru Usman, who fought Chimaev in a high-profile bout, raised some concerns about Chimaev's ability to maintain his grappling pressure throughout the fight. Usman acknowledged that Chimaev's wrestling is elite, but he pointed out that Du Plessis' toughness and resilience could make it difficult for Chimaev to keep up that intensity over 5 rounds. Usman emphasized that Chimaev would need to maintain a high pace throughout the fight to secure the win, but he also acknowledged the difficulty of doing so against someone as durable as Du Plessis.
Khamzat Chimaev on your back around 1 is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in, and that goes to show how strong of a squeeze this freaking dude had.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus Du Plessis? Because I will say this.
1000%.
Yoel Romero agreed with the consensus that Chimaev's wrestling could be the difference maker in the fight, but noted that Du Plessis' ability to grind through adversity makes this a tough challenge for Chimaev.
1640. Khamzat.
You have what? Sorry, who do you think? 60 Dricus?
16% point Chimaev, and 40% for Du Plessis. Yeah, that's a way.
So you think Chimaev? You're kind of slightly leaning towards Chimaev.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think?
Wrestling. The wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
The wrestling for Chimaev right now is very, very dangerous.
Ilia Topuria, who has shared training camps with both fighters, sees the fight as one of the most compelling matchups in recent memory. He acknowledges Chimaev's aggressive, high-pressure style, but also recognizes Du Plessis' resilient defense and unorthodox approach. Topuria is uncertain who will win, suggesting that it's a close contest that could go either way. He notes that Chimaev's relentless offense will collide with Du Plessis' defensive skills, making the outcome unpredictable.
Ilia Topuria on Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis fight. Ilia Topuria gave his opinion on the potential title fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus Du Plessis. Topuria wished Chimaev and Du Plessis good luck as he is friends with both of them.
He's the man. He's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus Du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, it's gonna be a very exciting fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
Finally, Johnny Eblen, a former Bellator middleweight champion, has been more skeptical of Chimaev's ability to dominate. Eblen pointed to Chimaev's past performances against fighters like Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. Eblen feels Du Plessis' experience in long, grueling 5-round wars gives him an advantage in a championship fight.
One thinks of him like the boogeyman, like a guy to avoid.
He's not though. He's a guy. He's just a human. Yeah, he's just a human. Like Gilbert made him look human. Usman made him look human. I think DDP's gonna make him look human. You know. Plus DDP's like a big physical guy. I don't think Khamzat's gonna just fucking manhandle him. You know. And also, his cardio is a little questionable. I don't think DDP's cardio is as questionable. You know, he gets tired, but like he still has a lot of output. Like watching Chimaev with Usman, you know, 3rd round, he was looking
and even Gilbert,
tired.
And
Gilbert, he fought Gilbert like an idiot though. He fought Gilbert pretty dumb. Like he was like kind of letting him up, like trying to be exciting, I think.
Luke Rockhold sees Chimaev as a dangerous early threat due to his aggressive style, which could overwhelm Du Plessis in the initial rounds. However, Rockhold believes that if the fight extends into the later rounds, Du Plessis' superior conditioning and resilience might turn the tide. The longer the fight lasts, the more Rockhold thinks Du Plessis' ability to endure could shift the momentum in his favor.
It's not always about the most technical guy, you know, it's the guy who wants it more. And
how do you think he fares against Khamzat?
I think Khamzat is a go for broke kind of guy. Khamzat, if he can't out wrestle you, he can't control you in that fierce state of direction of what he does. You know, I think he'll break. Khamzat will get him if he'll get him, but if he can't get him, it's going to be a hard 3rd, 4th, and 5th round.
Right.
I think that's going to be all Dricus.
So if it goes into the championship rounds, you like the champ.
Dominic Cruz, known for his tactical approach to fighting, suggests that Du Plessis' striking versatility could be a significant obstacle for Chimaev. Cruz points out that Du Plessis' ability to switch stances and create unpredictable angles could disrupt Chimaev's rhythm, particularly when it comes to defending against takedowns. Cruz argues that if Du Plessis can manage to keep the fight standing, his unpredictable striking will give him a distinct edge.
Man, I actually really like Dricus right now, the way he's looking. Like I said in the Schmo interview, he doesn't really stay on the center line. His striking and the stance switch really supports him in the rest of the takedown defense. Because as long as you don't sit right in front of a guy consistently, it's hard to get a hold of the legs and shoot on you. So he's also very big and strong, so I think he can challenge the strength of Chimaev in the first 2 rounds, which a lot of people haven't been able to rival. just the strength alone has been too much. And I think Dricus is sturdy enough and big enough. He can challenge it, but I will say I think it might be the toughest fight of his.
Sean Strickland, who has trained with both fighters, shares a similar view, but with a particular focus on Chimaev's wrestling. Strickland believes that Chimaev's wrestling will be less effective than many anticipate, with Du Plessis proving capable of handling the pressure. According to Strickland, as long as Du Plessis can avoid Chimaev's takedown attempts and maintain the fight on the feet, he has all the tools necessary to secure a victory.
Did you see DDP and Khamzat got announced?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where's that gonna be at?
Chicago.
Oh no. They're letting the terrorists in.
Do you think he beats DDP or do you think DDP retains?
You know it's hard. So those little Chechen, they can grapple, and like someone like me who I've been training with for years, I usually could counter wrestle and grapple him. So I just don't know if Dricus can be able to counter wrestle him. But if he can, I think he wins all hands down. You know, I sparred the Chechen, like hands down. I think Dricus wins. But it's just gonna come down to like, are you gonna be able to like counter wrestle? And like you can, it's not hard.
In the end, it's clear that the upcoming UFC 319 middleweight title fight between Chimaev and Du Plessis is far from predictable. With a clash of styles, strategies, and mental fortitude, both fighters bring plenty of tools to the octagon. Whether Chimaev's explosive wrestling and early aggression will be enough to finish Du Plessis, or whether Du Plessis' endurance, unpredictability, and mental toughness will lead him to victory remains to be seen. One thing's for sure, fans are in for a thrilling and unpredictable showdown.